Hello there. This week in One Piece, I won my first locals and I didn't get prizing. Well, technically I did. I got the regular promo packs that you get when you win, two standard tournament packs, and then the winners pack, which I pulled the Dofi, as you can see here. This is my first ever locals win, and it wasn't an easy run either. I played against Rayleigh, Zoro, and Emu Mirror. Not necessarily in that order. Rayleigh was a bit touch and go. Their aggression was pretty hard and heavy in the beginning, but I managed to pull it through. Emu Mirror was pretty decisive, actually. I think they made a bit of a misplay towards the tail end of the game, but other than that, I think it was pretty much in our favor. I made a bit of a risky play with the Shirahoshi in which I reduced the amount of trash I had so they could KO, and I kind of baited the Mars. But they only went for one of them anyway, and I knew I could clear board the following turn. So that ended up working out in my favor. And then the final match was against Zoro, which I got very lucky, and I won't deny. I managed to get a 2k off of the life just before their last swing, and it happened to be just enough to counter out the final attack. So I still don't believe anyone who says that Zoro isn't favored in the Emu matchup. We even saw in this weekend's finals in Dusseldorf that Kevin, who is a renowned mono black player, excellent Blackbeard player, excellent Emu player, and we saw the Emu get knocked out by a Zoro. Speaking of Dusseldorf, more news in that regard. We had 4 ace in the top 4, 2 mirror matches. I think someone played like a total of 6 mirror matches throughout the entire event. One of them had a bit of a funny story, actually. I think it was a guy called David, where he was in the losers bracket and ended up playing all the way through losers bracket and then ended up to the top 4, which is pretty insane. And then ultimately, an Emu of those 4, I can't remember which one, did take the win, which Emu is broken, sure, but Ace is a problem. I think of all the decks in the current meta in OP13, Ace doesn't get really any support moving forward, yet it's still probably the best deck in the format, maybe next to Boa. But I still think Ace is insane and it's a problem. I don't really know how to tackle it. Maybe just buff Emu more. I'd be okay with that. The triangle meta is going to be broken now. Zoro seems to be moving out. Mihawk moving their way in. Notoriously, Mihawk having a very good matchup into Zoro. I personally can't see Zoro moving out of the meta entirely. He's just way too popular of a character. So many people love Zoro. It seems like the entire player base is a Toei animator at this point. The amount that they ride this character, and I just don't see him going anywhere. I think he's still going to be a large part of the jungle meta that we see in OP14, if just maybe not as successful as he was before. That being said, he gets new support maybe in the 7-cost Shank, so who knows. In the East, I don't think he's that prevalent, but as we all know, East and Western metas are very different in terms of their approach to the format. And yeah, I think Zoro's here to stay, unfortunately. Other news surrounding Dusseldorf: a player's collection has been stolen. The self-proclaimed ranked 1 UK player had this collection with them at the event in Dusseldorf, and it was stolen after the event as they were trying to get home. I believe it was on a train, their suitcase was taken, and yeah, their entire collection was in the case. And it's insane. It really sucks. I really do sympathize for them. I don't know their situation. I don't know why they felt the need to have all of their stuff with them at the event. Maybe their living arrangements. Maybe they didn't feel comfortable leaving everything at home, so they thought it best to bring them with them, in which case I can totally understand. I just don't understand why, other than that kind of scenario, why they'd have all those crazy expensive cards with them if they weren't trying to, sell them at the event. Regardless, nobody should have their stuff stolen from them, and it does suck, especially from seemingly quite a notorious player in the community. It's just a terrible situation. Hopefully they get some kind of compensation throughout this, but it's looking pretty bleak, unfortunately. In other bleak news, I'm seeing vendors now hopping on the market manipulation that's going on within the card game. I'm sure a lot of you have heard at this point about the infamous Gengar Nami, which it is Zeus. It's not Gengar. There's a very vague resemblance. It ends there. There's no crossover. One Piece and Pokemon have done maybe one crossover in the entirety of both of the franchises. That was a recent sticker collection. There's no crossover. It's not Gengar. Don't invest in this card. This is simply Pokemon Bros using their money to buy out all of a card, and then sell it for higher values. I've seen a couple of vendors and local card game stores leaning into this. If you are, shame on you. Do not lead into this at all. It's not a card worth buying unless you're an avid Nami collector, in which case the price will drop eventually. Don't buy into the hype. The One Piece market is crazy right now. It's gone up before. It will drop. It will go up again, I'm sure, but just try not to panic buy. But it is not all doom and gloom. We are soon to be moving into a new jungle format. The trifecta of leaders in Emu, Ace, and Zoro will be shattered and ushering in the new 7 warlords of the sea for hopefully a much spicier meta. I'm curious to know what decks you guys are interested in playing moving on into OP14. I myself, I'm leaning into Crocodile. I think I just like mono black in general. And the only other one that I'm considering, if I can find all the cards, but I think some of them are kind of ushered in OP15 with EBO4. The way they've done the format is beyond me. I've not been keeping too much track of the future meta. But I think Yellow Blue Nami, IKEA Nami, as it's famously called by the GOAT Abster, is looking really good. I'm liking the look of it. I don't like Boa as a character, so I'm avoiding that deck. But I think Yellow Blue Nami could be one I look into as well. But for now, I think I'm locking in Crocodile. I wanted to get you guys' opinion. So I recently bought a sealed box of OP13. As you can see behind me, I'm an avid collector, and whilst my collection isn't incredible, I do love the pieces I have. However, I bought this OP13 box, and on the way home, I dropped it. As you can see here, there's a pretty noticeable ding in the corner of the box. The difficulty is getting OP13 boxes for retail value is incredibly difficult right now. And with Christmas being around the corner, I can't really afford to get another one. I can maybe hope for new stock in the new year. But my question is, do I keep it sealed or do I open it? I've opened 3 boxes so far. My head's been pretty good. There is also the chance of the God Pack, as there always is. But what would you do? Would you keep it sealed despite the damage on the corner? Or would you open it and give it a crack anyway? Let me know in the comments. I'm also over halfway now in my One Piece advent calendar. The hits have been pretty nuts, honestly. I've been slowly opening a PRB box, and I've got some other packs thrown in there. My birthday's on the 17th, so I think I'm getting a special, I think I'm getting a different pack then and on Christmas Day, but we'll have to see. If you want to follow along for that and check out the hits that I've gotten, be sure to look at the One Piece Shorts playlist on my channel. Now, what with Christmas coming up, I'm not sure how many locals I'm going to be able to fit in, especially if stock's running thin. I did find out that my local Namco store holds one on a Sunday, so I'm going to try and swing by there if I can. But I'm pretty busy now leading up to Christmas, but fingers crossed. Failing that, I'm going to be playing a lot more games on the sim, now leaning more into preparation for OP14. Now that I've got my first locals win, I feel like I can focus on the new meta instead. I recorded some games with my buddy Ben on some Croc gameplay, so if you want to see that as well, let me know. I'll be trying to upload that within the next week or so. And that's it for this week in One Piece. If you've enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. If there's anything you want to see me try on this channel, by the way, whether it's try a new deck, upload deck lists, gameplay, cover a certain topic, whatever it is, let me know in the comments. But for now, that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Till next time, peace.